Hello everyone and welcome to VGIW, never before seen behind the scenes content. We're taking a look at something that I thought was generally lost media. So, if you remember, we started off to a little bit of history, I guess, because I just said you may know, but you probably don't know. But VGIW started in WWE 2K18, and the plan was we would move every 2 games. That's what we generally do. So, of course, the plan was to move to WWE 2K20. Now, for obvious reasons, this plan never ended up following through. 2K20 just had too many problems, so we would end up going to 2K19 until 2K22 came out, when we were finally able to make the next move. Now, oh my goodness. Here you can see this was in the early stages of testing in the game, where, you know, Hardcore Hank got made. Hank and Reaper were 2 of the first wrestlers to be made, but we also made a series of other wrestlers as well, just kind of getting to grips with things. I think these were largely randomized wrestlers, but I would tweak them and try to find something to work with. So that first wrestler was Nathan Hotshot Brown. The idea was going to be, his gimmick was going to be that he was just an ordinary, average person who just wrestled on the side. You know, he was meant to be painfully average, like, you know, as, you know, like the whole thing was he was going to be boring on purpose. Anyway, this was another test we did. This one has Hank versus Reaper. Hank versus Reaper for us is it is personally one of our more iconic rivalries. It's one of the OG rivalries. It's one that we plan on revisiting from time to time throughout VGIW, and we thought it'd be a good test to see how Hank and Reaper performed and to get a general baseline on, you know, do the wrestlers work well? How does this game differ from 2K18? One of our problems was that we felt that the wrestlers just didn't move quite right. I remember, like, we went through a lot of tweaking just to try and get it, but for some reason we could not nail Hank and Reaper the way we wanted to in this game. Something we haven't had as much issue with in successive games. 2K19 was a great time, and yeah, we generally nailed a nice baseline. And so you're seeing this one is going to be a full match, by the way. But yeah, these 2 clips are the only footage we have before we all collectively decided to ditch the idea. I actually don't have a PS4 copy of 2K20 anymore, so I currently can't explore that old save data. If I still have it, I'm assuming I do. I think the only save data I've lost is my 2K22 PS4 save data. And I lost that on multiple situations. Oh man. Hank is absolutely getting himself rocked here by Reaper. But you can see the way they're interacting just feels a little bit more awkward. Hank and Reaper have had some, like, great clashes in the past, and this feels a little more awkward, like they're fighting each other for the first time, which it definitely wasn't at this point. One of my favourite matches from early VGIW was in 2K18 when Hank and Reaper, you know, fought with the Crusher in the mix at the first Hall of Glory event. It had some iconic moments in it and, you know, helped to solidify their rivalry. And to see them at times being a little bit clumsy at points didn't give us a lot of hope here. Now, I do have to apologise that the footage is in rather poor quality. Unfortunately, this is the only way I found this footage. I can't seem to find it in any other form at the moment, and perhaps I have it in a better quality, but currently I just do not know where. If I do at all. It turns out I have a lot of, like, you know, videos from back in the day. Like, somewhere I was recording, you know, footage from Vegas Pro, where I was showing to, you know, VGIW episode 1 to Sam and the Orc, just to, you know, because we were all so hyped about finally, you know, I was finally getting the E-Fed started with all of our wrestlers in. Oh, snapmare, and there's another kick to the back there. Hank's usually a lot more braggadocious, especially in this point, and he feels a lot more stilted here. Reaper isn't quite giving off that same like unkillable aura that he usually gives. I feel like some of the advancements I've tested with 2K25 gives me a lot of hope that Reaper will actually be even better in 2K26 when we make the move over there. Oh, no. Now, VGIW is primarily an AI versus AI, like, wrestling match, you know, where we get, you know, we let the computers fight it out and tell the stories that way. Just because there'd be too many. I've just always preferred it this way. Plus, it can allow for some storytelling that you may not have expected. Like, if suddenly a wrestler has a really good run, that can actually work really well to just, you know, push a wrestler that maybe we wouldn't have otherwise given a chance. It can be a bit frustrating if a wrestler doesn't do as well, but we can always adjust the wrestler accordingly as time goes on. But just generally speaking, with all the problems 2K20 was having, we found that it just wasn't worth sinking all that time into if it wasn't going to... If it was ultimately just going to be frustrating to play through. And in the end, that was for the bet. That was a good decision in the end, because 2K19 is, in my opinion, one of the great wrestling games, and I'm glad that whilst I had to deal with 2K20, I got to enjoy 2K19 for quite an extended period of time, honestly. Oh my goodness. This match feels like it's never really leaving second gear, honestly. Again, when I think about some of the great matches that Hank and Reaper have had, this definitely wouldn't score on the top 10 list. And I don't mean just with them two. Like, these two have had like iconic matches throughout these 7+ years of VGIW now, and so like I think that was why this was so disappointing when we watched it roll out. Oh, that was pretty nice. Oh, hang on. Oh, there we go. That's it. Okay, is he going to make some... Okay, that wasn't quite what I was expecting. I was hoping for a bit more than that, but hey, you know, still, the big boot, I could, you know, that would have been pretty cool. Hank jump bounce back, but that just happens sometimes. Oh, I don't know what Hank was going for there. Oh my god! I'm not even sure what that was. There's also, like, back in the day when both Hank and Reaper were similarly quite bulky. I've actually trimmed Reaper down a bit since then. I like to keep Reaper still, like, physically imposing, but I felt that early days Reaper was maybe a little bit too big and bulky at the time, and so Reaper has trimmed down since then. Oh, the knee! Oh, that was a pretty good knee animation, to be fair. I'm assuming that was, that was Hank's finisher. If that animation stayed in the game, that probably would have be a pretty good one for Hank to use nowadays, now that I think about it. And then you get this where, grabs the leg, and oh, that's a good one. Okay, they're starting to pick it up. We're more than halfway through the match now, but they're finally actually kicking things up, perhaps. Oh, never mind. I thought it'd be interesting to showcase this because, you know, the 2K, because we did interact with 2K20 a little bit, but just ultimately it didn't work out. And then for a very awkward period between 2K18's finale and the start of 2K19, because obviously 2K18 moved to 2K20, 2K20 is terrible, so I never end up uploading anything for it. I never record anything. We make a few wrestlers and then give up on it. We all have to buy 2K19 and try to quickly bounce back. And I remember it also led to a very awkward period when the servers for 2K19 got shut down, because then, of course, you know, like, while they did extend it, I'm pretty sure, because of 2K21's cancellation, it meant that when the servers went, we were stuck in a very stressful point, because we were like, 2K22 has to be good or we're actually screwed, because we'll be stuck on 2K19 where the servers are down. So we can't share wrestlers with each other anymore. I can't send VGIW wrestlers to Outrage Combat Wrestling. Outrage Combat wrestlers can't be sent over to VGIW, and Sam can't send anyone anywhere. So we were a little bit stressed. If 2K22 didn't turn out good, we kind of were at a loss on what we were going to do at that point. Thankfully, that stress ended up being nothing to worry about. 2K22 ended up being pretty good, and you know, I think I went crazy making stuff in that game. There's a lot of wrestlers that I plan on bringing back. Oh, there we go. Again, starting to see things pick back up, perhaps. The way that Hank sold that jab, I thought we were about to see the 2K24 back and forth there. You know, the punches, which devolved into a hockey fight 50% of the time. Oh, okay. Hank's back up for more. Big clothesline. Or yes, Sam would want me to call it the Axe Bomber. There were more wrestlers that I would love to show you from the 2K20 period, because like I said, I did make several more. But unfortunately, I think like most of them are stuck. You know, most of them didn't get recorded, and a lot of them are lost to time. I might have some pictures that I think about it that I'll have pop up on the screen about now. That were they were created, and maybe someday in the future you may see them appear in future VGIW episodes. This should be treated as non-canon, by the way, just because obviously this is a behind-the-scenes look. So maybe you'll see these wrestlers appear in a future thing, just retooled to look a little bit more presentable. Oh man. I remember there was one that looked like Hulk Hogan that I was going to call something like Taggart Kennedy, and I remember that was one that Sam hated out of that bunch. Let's see if I can find the pictures real quick. Oh no, I'm not going to find the pictures in time. This is not going to go well. Green shots. Is this it? No, it must be on the other one then. Elements. Gato. I've got to find the ones with the blue background. Where's the blue background? No, there's got to be. Where's the 2K20 screenshots? I know I have them. Where are they? Oh no, I can't find them. Okay, well, if I can find them at some point, I will share that, but I can't find them for some reason. That's very disconcerting. Is it on the... Oh, nice work by Hank. 2. Oh, there we go. Hank normally never beats Reaper. That's definitely something that happens more in the wrestling channel. Like, Reaper normally wins, so that's definitely non-canon. But yeah, I wanted to showcase this just as because I found this and I thought, oh wow, those days. Okay, I probably can't find the images to post them, but maybe we'll post them another time. But hey, that's a little look at VGIW behind the scenes. Let me know if you'd like to see more of this. I can't guarantee it'll be happening anytime soon, but I thought it might be a little nice look at what could have been. Thank you all. Please be sure to leave a like on the channel, subscribe to the VGIW channel, and I'll see you next time.